Hi everyone, welcome back to Classic Camp Crafts. I'm Miss Julia, and in this video we'll be doing some of our friendship bracelets. I'll show you 2 designs in this video and 2 designs in a second video. These are going to be the easier of the designs to do. I'll show you how to do a rope design and a simple braid. We'll start with the simple braid. So for this you'll need your embroidery floss, your scissors, and your safety pin. Please make sure to have your grown-up help you with your safety pin if you have some trouble using it on your own. I also like to do this on a pillow. So I've grabbed a pillow to do my project on. This way I can take my safety pin and pin my project onto the pillow so it doesn't move around. Some people also prefer to tape it to their table. I just don't like putting tape on my wood table. So this is another way that you could do it, is just grab a pillow and you'll safety pin your project onto the pillow while you're working on it. So we'll go ahead and prep our embroidery floss first. So for the braid, you'll want to have 3 strands of embroidery floss that are about twice the length around your wrist. So I'll go ahead and you can see I've got it around my wrist about 2 times. I'll add a little bit extra for my knots, and there I've got 1 length. And then I'll use this one to measure my other ones. Find the end and measure this one. And you can use all 3 the same colors or all 3 different. I like using different ones because the pattern looks cooler, but you can also do all the same. And then my last one. And my embroidery floss colors are probably going to be different than yours. Everyone should have one sort of neutral color, so either a black, a white, a gray, or a brown, and then 2 that are kind of the colors that you picked for your kit. So now that I have 3 lengths of embroidery floss, I'm going to line up all of the ends on one end, and I am going to do this right onto my pin here. So I'll open up my pin very carefully, and I'm going to make a loop and a knot on the end of my string. So I'll take my finger and go around and make a loop. So here I have my loop, and then I'm going to take, these are going over, I'll go under and through to make a little knot right there. And then I'm going to take the open end of my pin, so the pointy end, and stick it through my knot, and then I'm going to close the pin to make it easier. So close the pin and then pull it tight. Make sure you do this though on the side of the pin that opens, because if you put it on this side, it's going to be stuck on there and you won't be able to get it off so that you can wear it. So once you have your knot on there, I'm going to bring over my pillow and I'll go ahead and in frame, I'm going to gently go in and out of my pillow and carefully close it. You might want your grown-ups' help for that part. So for the braid, if you all remember the easy boondoggle, we're going to do that same sort of braid. So I've got all 3 of my strands of embroidery floss, and I'm going to take the one from the right and go in between. Then I'll kind of move everything over. Left in between, right in between, left in between. And I'm going to keep doing that. If you know how to braid faster, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to speed up the video here so that you can see the final project. Now you want to measure and make sure that your braid is long enough to go around your wrist or whoever's wrist that you're going to give your friendship bracelet to, and then we're going to just make a simple knot right here at the end. So once again, wrap it around your finger. The ends are going over. We'll go under and through, and then I'll just go ahead and pull my knot tight. And then I can use my scissors and cut off the extra. Then I'll go ahead and unpin my bracelet, cut off the extra, whoops, on this part too. And here is my braided friendship bracelet. And you can go ahead and either tie it onto your wrist or give it to a friend or somebody else that you love. And another thing you can do too is if you really don't want your friendship bracelet to be on all the time, you can also carefully, with your grown-up's help, go ahead and poke the needle end of your safety pin through both knots and wear it that way. So I'll show you that really quick too. So very carefully poking it through the knot. And sometimes it helps to just make the knots onto the safety pin as opposed to trying to do it after. Or you can also go right through like the first little part of your braid. And then you can go through this other little part here or through the knot. And then you can just close your safety pin and wear it that way too. So that would be if you want to be able to take it off. But typically what you do with a friendship bracelet is you give it to a friend and then you can wear it until the ends of or one of the parts of your embroidery floss starts to fray, and then when it falls off all by itself, you get to make a wish. So that's the first one. And you can also make these for an anklet instead if you want to measure twice around your ankle, because sometimes if you don't like how this feels when you're washing your hands and it gets wet, you could do it on your ankle instead if you want to be able to keep it on. So there's the first one. And then for the second one, I'll show you how to do the sort of rope or ladder form. So for this one, I'm going to take my embroidery floss and I want a length of floss that goes from about the tip of my fingers, so my tallest finger, tip of my tallest finger, all the way up to my shoulder. So I'll go ahead and measure that out. And then cut that. And then I'll use that one that I've already cut to measure the others. What's kind of nice is that you should have enough embroidery floss to make quite a few bracelets. And you can keep one for yourself and maybe give some to a few different people that you're either friends with or that you love. That's a pretty fun gift to be able to give to people. I think I'll send Miss Carrie one of the ones that I make. So there I have all 3 of my strands. These ones are much longer. So I'm going to go ahead and start it the same way. I'm going to make my knot, so wrap it around my finger, over, under, through, grab my safety pin, open it up, put the safety pin through the knot, and tie my knot onto there. Go ahead and pin it onto my pillow so it doesn't move around while I'm working, and carefully close the pin. There we go. So for this one, instead of just doing a braid, we're going to be doing some knots. So you want to decide what color you want to do this with first. So I think I'm going to start mine with the gray, and I'll make a pattern where I'll go gray, brown, and then my light brown. The next thing you need to decide is how wide you want each section of your little rope to be. So I'll do about 10 knots for each of mine because 10's a nice round number to remember. So you'll want to take your 2 strands that you don't want showing, have them together and straight down. Then you want the strand of color that you do want, you want this out and to the side. just like this. Then I'm going to take this strand, grab it, and I'm making sort of one of those fancy number 4s with it. You can see the fancy number 4, and this is going over here, and then I'm going to take the end and go under, up and through, and I'm going to hold on to these two and pull the end of this one and pull it tight. That's my first knot. And then I'll set it up the same way again. So over here, these two together make my 4 shape. Here I'm going over, go under, up and through, hold on tight to these and pull my knot. There's 2. I'll speed up this part till I get all 10 of them. So here's all 10 of my knots. I'll move this up closer so you can see them a little better. So do you see how the gray thread is now wrapped around the other 2 brown ones? So next, I'll do the next part of the pattern that I want to do for this. So for that part, I'm going to set it up the same way, but this time I want my dark brown one to be the thread that's going around everything. So I'll keep my gray and my light brown in the middle, over to the side with my dark brown, make my fancy 4. Here's over, under, up and through, hold on tight and pull my knot. I'll go ahead and speed up this part too. So you can see it's starting to make the pattern. So I've got my gray and my dark brown, and then I'll do the exact same thing but with the light brown. So set it up this way with my gray and my dark brown in the middle, my light brown to the side, figure 4, over, under, up and through, hold right here and pull it tight. So I've got 3 bits of it done, and I'll do one more of the gray bits so that you can see the pattern start to form. So here is what I have so far. You can see I've got a gray stripe, a dark brown, a light brown, and a gray. So I'm going to keep doing this pattern, and I'll finish this one off camera and come back and show you once I have the whole thing completed. Hi everyone, so I finished my rope or like knotted ladder bracelet. So I'll take it off here, and you can see I have sort of a pattern going on. That is what that will look like, and I've measured it so that it goes all the way around my wrist. You can go ahead and knot it off using that same technique. So wrap all of them around your finger. Go ahead and over, under, through, and pull your knot tight, and then cut off the extra. So that is your rope or ladder friendship bracelet and the braided one. So if you enjoyed these ones, go ahead and make one of them. Otherwise, you can watch the other video too and see how to do either the stripe or the chevron friendship bracelets. Happy crafting! Bye!